So for today, what I wanted to teach you guys is something that I call black magic in JavaScript. It's one of the most underrated features that doesn't get talked about a lot. It's require.cache in Node.js. Uh, what it does help you with, it helps you execute a file before it actually gets executed in its own execution order. So I have an example for that, right? Uh, I have nothing. It's just an empty folder. I have this tutorials folder. Inside that folder, I have a folder called my dash library. Inside that folder, I have an index.js file. All it's doing is it's importing this another from another.js, and this another has a message, a method called say, and a method called end. And once we go here, it's nothing. It's just an object with message, which is I am another.js, say, which is hi, how are you, and which just returns us some dashes. And then I just go here and I just console log these out. So if I were to go here and say my node my library slash index.js, is just going to output me this. Now imagine you want to change, you only have access to this index.js file, and this another.js file is something that you cannot touch directly, but you want to make changes to it. Think on it. So by the time this gets executed, instead of this saying I am another.js, maybe you wanted to have it say I am Superman, but you cannot touch this another.js file. Is there a way where you can like magically change the content of message, which is I am another.js, with I am Superman? Is there? And all you can like have access to are the files, but you cannot change it. Well, let's see if we can do that. I'll create another file outside of my library. Can be anywhere. I'll call this magic.js, because what I am about to show you is nothing less than magic, right? First thing first, what I'll do is I'll import a path from Node.js. This is built in with Node.js. You don't have to install it with npm. Path and fs, which is file system, comes in built in with every Node version these days. So first thing that I want to do is I want to get the absolute path for this folder called my library, which has this another JS which I want to change, right? So I'm going to say cons lib library path. How do I get this path? Uh, how about path dot join? If you think you have a better way to get at this the absolute directory for this file, just do let me know. So what do? I say path require dot resolve. Uh, I'll say my library slash, I don't know if this works or not, console.log lib path is equal to, let's see, so node. All right, so I do get the absolute path for this folder, which is cool. Let's just have it like this, more readable. So all I'm doing is I'm saying, all right, get me go to this folder, whatever this is, and get me this its absolute path. What happens if I remove these two dashes? What happens then? Yes, so by default is going to go ahead and get this index.js file, which is something that I don't want. I want it to like come out one level and just give me health here, right? Because by default, if it doesn't have index.js, it's going to execute this index.js file, right? So I'll get the absolute path for my library folder. Once I have that, how about I get the file path for this file that I want to change? So I'll say file path, and I'll say library path slash another, because that is the name of this file. And then I'll say const file that I want to change. You know what? Let's just call this another require another path. Let's just see if this even works. Another, I mean, can I even access this file? Let's see. Module not found. Okay. So instead of doing this, we can do what we can do is we can say path dot join, and then I can say library path slash another. This will handle the files elegantly. So it says library path my library slash what this was supposed to sorry, let's just block the execution till the return statement. My library slash, you know what, I'll say index.js, you know what, so that it knows it needs to get one level out. Path.join. You know what, I'll just get this another .js just for the sake of it. What happens now? Ah, silly me. This is what I have to do. So this basically path.join takes in two arguments like this. I always mess this up, always. Um, that is why it is always a good practice to have ESN and Prettier installed so that they can point these errors out. All right, so I have my library path, and then I have my another path, which is path.join library paths combined with this another. I get this path. You know what? I'll say another path as well, so we know what is it that we're getting. All right, let's see what happens now. So library path, the another files path, which is absolutely right, and then we execute this file. Now this is where our black magic happens. So you know what? First of all, let me just show you what this require.cache does. This is what this entire video is about, by the way. So require.cache. Let's see if I run this, what do I get? And you know what? Now let's just console these out because cool. This was a lot. So what is this all about? So as soon as I did require.cache, it's basically an object, right? So it says that this was the file that we executed when we did node magic.js, and in this file we have a lot of content, this one, and then it has another key which is this one that we're calling, right? One thing that you will notice is in this another.js it has this exports object which has the entire content for our another.js file, the message, the method, both of the methods, right? And you have to remember this, that everything in JavaScript is by reference. Nothing goes without reference, right? So let's like do some fancy stuff. So I'll do require.cache, and again this is an object, and I want to access this path, right? So sorry I'll do another path dot exports. No, but first of all, I want to see if I can even access this, right? Because I don't know if I can even access this, right? So okay, it says undefined. Why does it do that? So as you can see, we have another .js here, and inside our file, we don't have anything like that. It does not say .js. So what we can do here is we can make this file safe. I'll say require.resolve. Let's see what happens. Do I get? Oh yes, I do get the object. So what I can do here is I will, let's just copy this, and then I can come here. I can access its exports objects because you see now I get its IntelliSense. And now just have a look at this, right? So I'll say uh, another, whatever is already there. I just let it say I just want to update this message part, right? The rest I just want you to spread as is. Uh, so yeah, so I'll say I am Superman. You know what? Just so that you know we're running this file, I'll say console.log I am my library. I just want you to see how powerful this stuff is, right? Then I'll do is I will execute my library, whatever that is. So I'll say require, and I'll just say library path. I mean, do I have to say slash index? Uh, okay. So I don't know. Let's see. Ho ho! Did you see what I just did? So if I run library, I get this. I am another.js. Hi, how are you? And then it says I am my library, right? Now I just want to change this file, but I want to execute this entire file as is, right? But I cannot access another.js, right? I mean, I can, but I want to have the index.js files execution as is, but I just want to like make some modifications in another JS. One way is I can just make, imagine this is a library, right? What I can do is I can fork this entire library, maintain this entire library, and it might not have just these two files. It can have like tens or 50 files, right? And just to like change one line, I have to maintain the entire file now. With this feature, I can execute all the file as it is, in its natural order, with just by just having like my modified content to it. So I don't have to maintain a separate fork of a library myself. I just have to like maintain the part that I want to, a subset of that library with myself, which can be done with like literally 21 lines of code, and half of them are like comments here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, with 9 lines of code. This is amazing, right? I'll just say magic. I am Superman. Hi, how are you? And I am my library, right? uh and just so that you know, I am called from my library slash index.js, right? Let's run magic.js again. See, but it says I'm Superman. But if you actually go in another.js file, it says I am another.js. This is like so powerful. Imagine. So what are the use cases of it, right? Well, this is what this video was about. This was the first part of the introduction for it. How to extend Facebook's Create React app library without ever rejecting it. I remember I had to like modify some Webpack configurations. I had to add some copy Webpack plugins into my public folder, and just to have that plugin available with Create React app, I had to inject the entire configuration. And boy, does this have a lot of code. I mean, just to add like 10 more lines to that Webpack configuration, I had to maintain the entire Create React app personally, locally. And I was able to do that for a couple of months. But as with time, it becomes harder to maintain a forked version of your library. So I think with this feature, this is just like amazing. The second part of this video, I will tell you on how you can like extend a create React apps webpack configuration without ejecting it in the first go. And you can use the same technique, this require.cache, this magic.js technique, anywhere in any library, and you can change the execution of a certain file and have it maintained in its own execution order. I think require.cache is the most underrated feature in Node.js. But do have a look at it. I'll attach this entire gist in the description below, along with some official documentation for what require.cache is in Node.js. They should probably add more content to that because it's just amazing. So I hope this was helpful. Have a good day.